What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 127.
Let's go.
Woo! We are bringing you that Monday energy live. If you're joining us live, join us over in the live chat. And if you're watching later, awesome. Comment down below. Get to some intros. Hello, I am Carrie Lee.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
And we're going to do a teeny bit of news. We're going to do a manga review, talk a little bit about that, as well as get back to our coverage of Go-Go Loser Ranger and recommendations for other things you should check out. So stick around. This will let you know what's happening. Looking over at the live chat, we got some people already hanging out. We got Heck. Heck is back, baby.
Welcome back.
And Untitled says, listening in from mile 3 on the treadmill. Woo,
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
And Heck cheers on saying, heck yeah. Nice. Like it. Team support here. Absolutely.
Exactly.
All
That is
right.
how we do.
Yes. Let's get to some quick things we're excited about.
So it's a quiet news week this week for us, but I did want to bring something up that is slightly outside of our normal wheelhouse, but still, I believe, very important, and that is Ketchup Entertainment acquires the North American rights to The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. So, for those of you thinking Looney Tunes movie, but I thought that was, Coyote versus Acme is still, buried, unfortunately, which is why, in my opinion, it is so important that we do have The Day the Earth Blew Up and that it has been picked up by Ketchup Entertainment for North American distribution. So Ketchup Entertainment has acquired the North American rights to Warner Brothers Animation's The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie from GFM Animation, who are handling worldwide distribution sales. Yep, Looney Tunes. We are getting a Looney Tunes movie. So I don't think we have a date yet for wide-scale distribution, but they are planning on a theatrical release. Yes, according to Gareth West, who is the CEO of Ketchup Entertainment, we're proud to be partnering with Warner Brothers Animation to bring this film to audiences theatrically. So, yeah, Looney Tunes animated movie in theaters in the future sometime. Like, again, we don't have a date range yet. This acquisition announcement was very recent, but guys, I'm so excited. It's been a very long time since I've seen a Looney Tunes movie in theaters. I want to say I've seen one since Space Jam, but it might have actually been since Space Jam.
I was wait, so, yeah, I think Space Jam's kind of it.
Because there has been a few since then. There's Looney Tunes Back in Action. There have been a few.
They weren't as good. Like Space Jam,
those I mean, everyone has some rough times. You know, I just keep rewatching Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, classic.
Let's be real, that's amazing. So very, very excited for The Day the Earth Blew Up. Very, very excited for an actual theatrical length Looney Tunes movie in theaters. So keep an eye out for some release dates for that. And again, seeing movies in theaters is wonderful. I always still wear a mask when I go because that's a lot of strangers that I don't know in a place, and we're all here to have fun, but, ounce of prevention. So if that helps, I recommend it. And yeah, let's go.
Speaking of theaters, Gig Derrick greetings for my third viewing of Deadpool and Wolverine. Just finished and on my way home. Nice. Yay! Saw that movie. That's fun times.
I still have yet to see it. It's everything has happened so much recently.
I was glad I was able to get to the theater, but it is time, life.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my God.
All right. And okay, so this one, Motupo, we were given access to check out the first. It's not
volume.
It's volume.
The
there we
volume. As a quick reminder, Motupo is available online already. It started off as, I hesitate to say webcomic. That's not the right. I don't believe that's the right terminology, but a good amount of it is available online already. This is the collected volume 1 that has physical copies that I believe were released either last week or this week. So this is something you can physically pick up in stores. You can also read it online. And our friends at Tokyo Pop were kind enough to send us a review copy of what the physical volume will be. So we
Okay,
sat
here we
down to
go.
take a look.
Digital release is available now,
Mhm.
and this has been a little bit. And the print edition is going to debut tomorrow on August 13th.
All right.
And there is an animated trailer for it on YouTube. So if you want to check out like a animated version of it, that is available. And also looking, volume 1 is going for a $13.99, and it is for teen readers 16 and plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get a bit of violence, but it's cool and exciting.
It's
not too gory or anything like that. It's not violent that
so
way.
far. So far.
That's true.
It definitely leans towards your slightly older shonen grade sort of. So like if you are very much into shonen anime, shonen manga, you will enjoy Matupo. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know I spoke a little bit about it last week and the things you should check out. I've had a chance to do a reread since then, and y'all, I love this. I love this.
Yeah. I was glad I finally got a chance to read it, and it is exciting. I like the art style because it does have that shonen flavor, and it's anime style, but adjacent.
Yeah.
But I like that. That's something different. And I like the character design, his cool like mohawk sideburn things.
It's anime inspired, but it is also extremely African, and that is baked into its DNA, and that is the point. Is that it's, I believe in the first few pages they mentioned that Zimbabwe and Zambia.
Yeah.
And that's the point. And I absolutely adore the world building. And as someone who has grown up in America her whole life, just seeing a window into how other cultures and other parts of the world, like these are the stories they tell, this is what's based on their culture, this is where they came from, and going, okay, like there's stuff in here that I am not at all familiar with, and there's stuff in here that is very much not my life experience, and I think I am the better for reading it, for being like, okay, this is a thing that is new to me. I am open to it, and I am made a more well-rounded person by consuming this story that is very far divorced from my life experiences. Like, I love this a lot. I am so excited to see where it goes. I love our world building. I love our protagonist. I love that we have a disabled protagonist and we are, it's like, that's life. That is just a fact of life. We're not pussyfooting around it, and we're not, I don't know. I'm having trouble with words tonight, which is not great.
I was going to say, no, you're doing a wonderful description. I was going to be like, ditto. And then, I would, and then expanding on just a little bit more, it is that idea. It is nice any good story is a window into somewhere. And when it's done well, you don't have to know anything about it, but you can feel immersed in it and it not feel like it's being boring or just exposition of let's explain it to you, because it's not that at all. It is really like you are in this world, and if you don't know anything about it, it's no problem. You are in it. And then I'd be curious for people who are more familiar of how are those references and cultural like beats hitting for them. And I think it was cool to see into this kind of their mythology, and I like how that's how it begins and everything. And Izzy, okay, so tell me more, because how do the powers and abilities work? Because they give you that little bit like, so this is how it kind of works, and this is how what's kind of happening, but it's just that kind of first sample of get your feet wet and get excited about it.
It's like, here is the culture, here is the tradition. We have our one page of like, here's our little primer with some excellent art. And then we're going to throw you straight into the day in the life of our protagonist, which is just a great way to do it. So yeah, I love the world building we get here. I love that we have the slice of life for this city. And then we also have this live streamed tech billionaire, this eccentric tech billionaire where no one's ever seen his face, who is just making this live stream announcement that's casually going to change the world. It's fine because the use of Mutipo has been outlawed. And from
Mm-hmm.
what little bits we get in the story and dialogue, there was a war. And that's the reason that it's outlawed now. And we just from a conversation, we get the two viewpoints and it feels extremely natural. It doesn't feel like, and here's the exposition. It feels like two people
Yep.
having a talk. So again,
Uh,
that's really, really hard to do.
Yes.
Yep.
This is my sidekick here.
Our third co-host. Occasionally
Yes.
mine shows up, but
Yeah.
not right now. She's asleep on the couch.
But yeah, overall, we have thoroughly enjoyed it. Be sure to be on the
Yes.
lookout for look it up online to either get your own physical copy or digital, and check out the digital preview, and then get the physical copy once you're like, yes, give me more, and
Yep.
turn those pages.
And that should be available on tokyopop.com along with so many other manga. So definitely check it out. We enjoyed the heck out of it. Very excited for volume 2.
Yes. That's the other fun notes. I mentioned my poor dog has
very vocal co-host tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a sore throat thing.
Oh, buddy.
We're working on it. It's one of those, it's like you kind of have to laugh because you're like, oh no. Anyways, speaking of our oh no's, we have a few of those on this episode. Woo!
I want to do a little theory crafting while we're here.
Okay.
You know, we got our own. It's here. It's here.
Yes.
I don't know if we had a pin board for this show yet or what side it was on. Demon Slayer uses both sides, I remember. But like the Loser Ranger pin board is here. We have enough weird things and enough bits in the timeline.
Oh, yeah.
So for one, just throwing this out there, but there's no way Red did not McMurder the previous Blue Keeper. Like, I am 99% certain that he went, oh, I've got an upgrade here, and just completely murdered the guy. Because we have seen him casually McMurder a guy on his team for just no good goddamn reason. So, well, or insubordination, but still didn't deserve that. So my guess is that what we saw in episode 4 was not the first time. And my guess is also that he caught this older Blue Ranger by surprise and just absolutely destroyed him. Went, oh yeah, he got real beat up in battle. That guy's a goner. But you can pick up his weapon and get revenge. Like, oh. So we can all agree that the Dragon Keepers would be better if Red weren't in charge, right? Like literally anyone would be an upgrade.
I don't trust him at all. I'm like, no, that is a very dangerous person.
And I mean, we're not supposed to trust him. We get the Puppet Master imagery twice in the opening for Red. Like, we're not supposed to trust him. The other
we also get that hand bit too of like the
like, that's well, the second bit of Puppet Master imagery.
And then
yeah. So the second bit of theory crafting I want to do, and this is I think this has larger implications for world building. Again, just in the flashbacks where Red is trying to recruit our current Blue Keeper, there's commentary about the power of a dragon god.
Yes.
We have a hot second with God, the boss monster.
Petrol. It's like
Petrol.
It looks like petrol.
Peltrola.
Yeah,
that's
Peltrola.
What it is. Peltrola or Peltroka. I think it's Peltrola. That name. Every damn time. But we have a hot second with him talking with Suzukiri and her going, yeah, I can let one of you go. And he has a brief flashback to, I didn't realize there was a survivor. Of course she hates the Dragon Keepers. And we have this.
That was a super quick image. Yeah.
Couple of seconds. I went back and went, a survivor of what? Went back and paused it. And we have 5 shrine maidens, priestesses, whatever you would refer to them as, and a big white dragon in the background. And I'm sitting here going, so we've all noticed that the Dragon Keeper's divine weapons look a little fleshy. They look we've only seen 2, but both of them definitely look fleshy.
The
And we
gun
have
thing we saw a lot of
also
in
is
this one.
fleshy.
Very fleshy, yes.
Yeah.
I like this one. Patroller. Protroller.
Protroller. Yep,
Yes.
that's fair.
No, that's a good nickname.
So I'm kind of wondering if the
Mm.
Dragon Keepers didn't start by massacring a fucking dragon for
Mm.
parts. Like, did we kill a god to kill gods? Is that what we're
Maybe?
doing here?
Monster Hunter, but Dragon Gods? Maybe.
Yeah. So it's again, these divine weapons are they look like this for a reason. And I mean, we have the
Yeah, that's
remote
a good
control
point.
and that's funny,
Yeah.
but we also have teeth.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, we have
Eat it.
teeth. We've
Eat
seen
energy, which is
both
not a normal thing either.
both of the red weapons that we've seen so far look very fleshy. The blue weapon and also the scythe that we've seen one of the
Yeah.
junior keepers use in episode I want to say 4 also looked fleshy. Like, I would not be surprised if these were dragon parts and if our original keepers of a dragon, if these shrine maidens or priestesses, or I need to settle on a term, if they weren't the original keepers, followers, etc. of the dragon, and if they didn't get massacred when the dragon did, because someone made a decision that whatever this entity was, it would be better used for parts in the hands of humans than to be its own thing. So,
And we had Pink Ranger, which had the like cool boots, which seemed like pieces, and then also the scepter.
I love the
that,
scepter.
though.
The scepter was so damn funny. I also can we
Ronnie.
And I mean, obviously in world, the boots predated this particular Pink Keeper. But also, can we talk about from a character design perspective that the person who does not have the use of her legs while she is not transformed has boots as her weapon while she is?
I like it.
Yo. Because again, that other little plot point that we kind of have waiting down the line here is we are trying to take out the Dragon Keepers. We are, again, Suzukiri is keeping their weapons, which I think lends credence to the idea that she was involved in whatever this was previously. She was a priestess of the previous dragon and might be, I don't know, reassembling it. We're going to Frankenstein this dragon. I have no idea.
I feel this is a little more left field, but I kind of like it. Idea: the monsters are a curse called to the earth by the murdered dragon god.
I don't know.
I think the dragon was against the monsters, so I wouldn't think it that way. But sometimes opposite directions help us get back to where it is. So I'm like, intriguing.
I want the timeline. Because now that we know that this massacre or whatever it was took place, I want the timeline in reference I want to know when it took place in relation to the monsters showing up. Did the dragon die first and then the monsters came? Or the monsters came and we had a year of everything going to hell. And then they decided to massacre a dragon for parts to literally keep the dragon.
It could be.
And do that. I don't know.
We don't have any context yet.
Like, I think if this is what we're going for, then Suzukiri's everything makes a lot more sense and is absolutely, it's all absolutely horrifying, but it's absolutely horrifying. What do you have? Oh, flesh weapons.
No big.
Okay, cool. Are they still alive? I mean, kinda. So yeah, this is something that I only caught on a rewatch.
Rab says, I'm leaning into the boys, ergo the Dragon Keepers are the big bad, and they murdered the dragon for real power, and then the monsters came.
It's again, I
there's more going on than we know, that's for sure.
Oh my god, yes. I want to know where this massacre lies on the timeline.
Well,
and also if the Dragon Keepers were around before this massacre, I would not be surprised if it was Red's call to kill the dragon.
Also, speaking of fleshy, R.I.P. Ishikawa. Nice.
Bruh. Just what an anime way to
Barbecue.
go. What
Yeah.
an anime way to go.
And then he's like, I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, right? It's like
I was like, what the fuck? How is this guy still alive?
cauterized? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
The
Darth Maul got to
fair.
live, but that's Star Wars.
yeah, I mean, maybe that's the only way is because it's not like you're bleeding out. No,
No.
it was a bit of a okay, sure,
But
sure,
then
Dan.
again, a lot of this show is like
Yeah,
we're working on tokusatsu logic. We are here for the
sure.
absolute weird, improbable.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's just go. So yeah, if we can have a dramatic death and then have him not be quite dead yet and deliver a dramatic monologue and then actually die, yeah, that's a trope we use all the time. Why not? Talking
So the
is a
lines-
reaction.
I'm
You
not
can't
dead.
talk
Talking is a
until you
free action.
succeed all of your death saves. All right. Like,
But yeah,
oh my God.
I really enjoyed our teamwork fighting on this though. That was
Oh, yeah.
cool of passing the toy, if you will.
Yeah.
Here, just move. Shit.
This is a terribly thought out plan. I am so here for it.
Yeah.
And also just diving for the bird heads and using them against each other.
Yeah.
And Shippo coming back and just punching them. I love him
That
so
tracks.
much.
So
I love him
And then-
so much.
surprise, the guns are just the replicas. Though I guess nobody else on the team noticed enough to know like
I was watching again. I watched these and then
Yeah.
I rewatched them, and even the animation was like, no, his hands are totally there. His hands are totally there. His hands are gone.
but they are
Okay.
behind him, so they may not necessarily see that. And there's a lot going on. But I would
Yeah.
still think you'd see the black like stuff happening. But I think at this point they might be like, all right, if he told them the truth, I think they're enough of we've gone through enough and he's helped them enough. And even though he's not necessarily like with them, air quotes,
Yeah.
they'll be like, all right, he's not what they expected. I'd be curious if he reveals the secret or if they figure it out, because
I really am wondering, like,
Mm.
if they know, if they've put the pieces together, if they're just kind of
like, push it to back.
rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they're just kind of rolling with things and then afterwards they're gonna be like, wait a minute, how did that work? Or if it's
Yeah.
just we're in the heat of battle, everything is adrenaline, we do not have the time.
It could be
Because-
that a bit too.
The only one that he specifically went, yes, I am a monster to, is the one who's dead. So who
Can-
knows? And
yeah.
honestly,
What?
as a story, you could play it either way. You
I
really
think
could.
it can go either way. And I really like that he has just because you are I went back a little bit to the last episode and led into this because I really like how it just kind of kept going. But I like I don't care if they're where we came from. They left us behind. I'm gonna do my own thing. So
Yep.
I'm here for that for him of
Yeah.
because he
'Cause, like-
doesn't I don't think D wants world domination. I think his motives are changing a little bit as he's bonded with the humans because it is probably they're the other and he hasn't been around them and he only knows the bad parts of it. So now hanging out with these people, he's kind of like, maybe I'm reevaluating my decisions.
I think I don't think he really has a concept of what world domination
No.
would be. And we saw that in his little
Yeah,
fever
his little
dream.
daydream.
last episode. Like, he doesn't. I would imagine that the loyalty to the boss monsters was, yeah, okay, they created us. And also, things were better when they were around. We weren't
Yep.
stuck doing the Sunday showdown. Like,
Yeah.
we weren't being humiliated for a decade and a half on end. So it's less, I want what they are promising, and more, it has to be better than this.
And with the big baddie monster not around, his friend died. So I think he has a bit of resentment in that department too of like, well, you weren't here, which made my friend die. So screw you.
And I mean, also keep in mind, that was red.
Yeah.
That was straight up Red.
still,
So
yeah. Even if I like Rabbit says, even D wants power, they know he's a moron and thus safer.
that's also fair. That is also very fair. But yeah,
Uh,
again, I would like to make the point that the Dragon Keepers would be much
Yeah.
better if it weren't for Red.
yes.
Just
So I wonder if we'll
oh
get to
my
that
God.
point of like maybe we'll get rid of him and we'll see.
I mean, we did see an attempt to get rid of him, and dude got his face crunched in. Red is
little
still
bit.
an unholy terror, even without his divine artifact.
Yeah.
So, like,
I like his cape fighting thing, like his twirl. It's like it's like how the Batman cape at different times can be like
weighted
kind of
and murder.
sharp. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool though.
Yeah, and I did enjoy all the backstory that we got for Blue. I enjoyed the
Yes.
he grew up in this
Yep.
orphanage and graduated and is still
Yeah.
supporting it, and that we got to see little
Our little-
Sakurama and little I can't even remember, but the
Oh, yeah.
the guy with the busted face right now, that was him.
I was
So,
gonna say, which one was
just-
that? Which
I can't remember his name.
okay.
Just the fact that we keep seeing them and that it's a through line, because we had Sakurama saying,
Yeah.
the Blue Keeper retired and raised, or the Blue Keeper raised me and my sister, and thinking, oh,
Mhm.
it's like a more familial. Oh no, he straight up runs an orphanage.
Yes. I
Because-
thought too, like a more like foster dad, not a
Yeah.
whole facility.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I
how
didn't-
it was presented.
Yes.
But of course it makes sense, like, he sees all of these kids who no longer have families because of the
Yeah.
destruction that monsters have wrought. So it makes sense that he would know who to then follow up with and go, hey, we can
Yeah.
at least take care of you, put a roof over your head, make sure you get an education, all that. And yeah, Blue Keeper going through that system and going back to support it. And this looking like a private facility. This isn't government
Yeah.
run. This is what he's doing with his funds.
Mhm.
And then also being at the bar and the waitresses, hostesses. I know there's a name for this role, but uncertain which one applies best. It's like, I thought you got out. I thought you got a respectable day job. Well, I did, but the company closed because monsters. So here I am again. And that's the case for
Yes.
everyone else wearing a white dress and schmoozing with your buddies. So it's like, okay, he has been given suitable motivation to fight monsters already. And then Red rolls up like, so I killed your sensei. I mean, he died.
Yeah.
Don't you want revenge?
And our face action too, if that's how we got his fun scars.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And yet you're not the first person to get pulled into a monster plot. I am absolutely certain. If the world's in upheaval, then yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
Just again, I blame Red. I know the monsters probably started this, but in terms of the Dragon Keeper, just the core rotting from the head, I blame Red.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a
Okay.
terrible person, so I feel right blaming him.
Indeed. I think that's kind of the bigger things. If there's other moments that stood out
mean,
to you all
The
watching,
last
well,
bit is
yeah.
D throwing down the gauntlet against Blue Keeper like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, dude, you may be the protagonist, but you are not there. You're
No.
just not there yet. But dude.
Yep.
Challenging a Sicilian when death is on the line, you know?
Well, that calls back to his earlier line that maybe someone weaker than you will be your demise, and you're just like, yo, tone it down. It's okay. But
Yeah.
we will see. I think. Oh, and then our blue second in command
Izome.
is like, no, I'm good. I'm alive.
The fun thing, watching it the first time through with my roommate and getting the I will avenge you, and I just sat there and went, I'm not dead, like making a joke, and then it smash cutting to her going, I'm not dead, was like, okay.
I do
know
love
how
when that
stories work.
happens with writing of a
Yes.
show or a movie. If you're thinking it and then it happens, it is so satisfying. It's like, yes, thank you. That's what I,
It's that Leonardo DiCaprio meme of just the
Yeah.
point. Yep.
because and then we're not saying like boring, predictable way. It's just this is what we would think would happen, And then when it does, you're like, aha, yes. Yep.
Stories follow rules.
Mhm.
So, when you know how stories work, when you have the building blocks of things, and when, sometimes there's a good joke that's just available there. Yeah.
Yes.
That's like, what is it, like 6 stories and everything is in the execution?
Something like that. Yeah, I
Something
don't
like that.
remember, but if there are other things that stood out to any of you watching, listening later, let us know. Leave a comment down below. One more episode to go.
Oh, yeah, season
Oh,
finale.
boy.
Keep in mind, we have been, season 2 has been confirmed. The show has been renewed. We don't have a timeline. And again, we much prefer that our animators get a chance to do things like eat and
Live.
sleep and have social lives and like
Yep.
work-life balance. That's better. So, we can wait a couple years for the
Yeah.
next season. I would like
we'll
people
see.
to be able to sleep. Sleeping and eating are good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Rab says D doesn't have to kill a big guy. He just has to live longer than them. That's all. That's all the win he needs.
Yeah. Does being connected to a dragon, does henshin like keep you from aging? Because Red Keeper looks the same.
I, in looking up some names, saw something that now the way you say that, I'm like,
Well, now
And-
I want to know after the show, because that's definitely one of those, like, dude has been around for like at least, I want to say, for most of this time, if not all of this time, and you're
yeah,
telling
no
me you don't
spoilers if
look
anybody
different in
knows.
10 years? For real?
I'll tell you a thing after that I saw. That's that thing when you're trying to look up information, then sometimes it can give you a little bit that you're like, wait, no, I didn't need to know yet.
Oh,
But,
yeah, I hit
we'll see
some
how
of
things
that.
wrap up for the next episode.
It's always fun when someone puts spoilers in the first sentence of the Wikia article. Like,
No,
stop that.
that's rude.
Which is to say, different thing. Go into it in the next segment.
Okay. Which, speaking of next segment, boom, telling you about other stuff that you should check out, game shows, books, anything that we're checking out that we think you should check out. So what did you see that?
We started playing Alan Wake 2. Finally! We finished Control. We booted up the PS5, which we in this apartment we call it the It's Me Boy, because if you have not seen the It's Me Boy, I'm the PS5 video, you need to watch it. I literally cry laughing almost every time.
Nice.
So yeah, the PS5 is known as the It's Me Boy in this apartment. Finally got the borrowed one hooked up, Alan Wake 2 installed. We're about 2-ish hours in, so edging our way out of the tutorial and fully into things. And I love this game. We're not very far in at all. And I love this game. And the bit that I got spoiled for was, wait, this character, weren't they in the first game? And then looking up their article on the fan wiki, and then like, this character, spoilers. I'm like, why are you like this? So I'm a little disappointed that I kind of know what's up, and that cuts a lot of my theory crafting out at the knees. And the theory crafting is a lot of fun for Alan Wake. But we also, before getting into it, watched a playthrough of Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which was I think it was on Xbox, and it never made it to Steam. It was an older one. And it was a little interstitial. But what I appreciate about this, for one, I appreciate that we found a playthrough, no commentary, no nothing, done by someone who very obviously had the game memorized.
Oh,
And that
interesting.
it just let us go through and experience the story, about 60% of which was, shooting shadow people. Which, that's the Alan Wake experience, It's a horror story, and those are the mooks, or people literally made of shadows.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Alan Wake it's very, very fun, and our protagonist is just a sopping wet cat of a man. He's terrible. I love him. But the framework of American Nightmare is did any of this actually happen? It's set up like
Mhm.
an in-universe Twilight Zone episode. So, like,
Oh.
was it just a Twilight Zone episode? Was it a nightmare?
Ah.
Did this happen? And we're kind of looking at each other going, well, Alan got a happy ending in that one, so no, I think it's fake.
Gotcha.
Because
Huh.
then otherwise, what are we doing in Alan Wake 2, really? But it's
That's a good point.
it's a very well put together game so far. Alan Wake 2 is, again, we're 2 hours in, we're still getting a hold of the controls and seeing how things have changed, but it has been very fun so far. So if you're kind of
Nice.
wondering about that whole franchise from Remedy Games, yes, start with Alan Wake, and if you don't want to start with Alan Wake, start with Control. And yeah, it's a good time so far. I know there's a new Ninja Turtle series that dropped on Friday. I haven't had time to watch it. It's been a busy weekend. Alan Wake, what if Twin Peaks made sense? I'm sorry, you
Okay.
expect Alan Wake to make sense. Alan Wake,
Uh,
what if Twin Peaks had an even more banging soundtrack?
and looking over the chat more too, Gigadirk says, I strongly recommend seeing Deadpool and Wolverine. By some miracle, I first saw it before the internet was saturated with spoilers, and now it feels like most spoiled thing in the world. Yes, there are so many spoilers for that now, and
I got spoiled for the big cameo everyone's talking about, but I have still been mostly under the radar with everything else.
that's good. I also think it is a little bit on what you're training the For You page of stuff that shows you. Because if you watch one, you'll see a whole lot more. Because I know I was like, oh, cool. Now let me look those up. And now it's so many, but I think I wasn't seeing them before. Like I only saw one thing, but out of context, I didn't know what it was. So it was kind of like, okay. But and then also, awesome. Giga Derek says, I also pre-ordered Matupo. Yay!
Nice. Right.
For watching things, I was reaching down, getting my bag. I was like, what did I watch? Yes, I finished My Lady Jane. I do recommend it. It's that thing where you're watching something and you like it and you're like, but how do you wrap up? I think it wraps up. It is fun and engaging. It is alternate history, so it does not go how history goes, and it does have it is part of a series, I think, the books. So it has like the main big parts wrapped up, good to go. But then it's like, by the way, here's some other things in case this went on. So that's pretty cool. And it would make someone like me be like, all right, let's go check out the book. So if you want like Tudors meets Bridgerton with sprinkled little bit of Animorphs and very meta, cheeky period piece fun, you should check out My Lady Jane. That's over on Amazon. It's that thing of, yay, when we finally have time to catch up on shows. I finally started Peaky Blinders, and that's been really fun. And I'm about, how far am I? I'm on season 2, like episode 2 or 3. But that's also a much more gritty period piece, something if you've never checked out. Or it's those shows, that's just, you've been aware of them and you just haven't gotten to them yet. Yep. And then the other fun thing is what I partially, you can see, I did some little tiny rollers because I went and saw Cabaret last night, a live play production of it. And I was like, ooh, I haven't done rollers in a while, and let's be a little more period piece themed. It was very fun. It's always great to see live theater. The performers, everybody, it's like, belting it and like knocking out the park with that. And then their wardrobe, there were some costumes like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. And with like Labyrinth coming up, my friend goes, costume change idea, and I'm like, we are so close. No, but I am on the same wavelength that some of these outfits, I'm like, can we steal these? But they were very cool. So that was just really great. So if you have local theater by you, and this one I really love. It's up in Solvang, and they have it's an outdoor theater. So you get the experience of theater with the open air. Lots of little bats, which was kind of cool though too. And because as it's starting to dim, you're like, ooh. But yeah, so for people of like, if you don't want to be around too many people or something, it is nice when there's an outdoor theater. So I would check to see what your local theater is doing by you. And just because it's a smaller theater does not mean it's any lower quality versus a Broadway production.
Oh, yeah.
These are great, and these people are really into it. So highly recommend checking them out. And then, yeah, this one, they have one more play of the season in September. So then they'll be the end of the summer season.
And yeah, I definitely recommend doing live stuff just in general. There's always going to be a black box theater, a community theater,
Yes,
someone
those are
performing
great.
in the park, a performance venue. And I say this is someone who went to Foo Fighters last night, which is a huge show and was amazing and is definitely at the other end of the bell curve when we talk about live performances, just in terms of scale. But
Yeah.
yes, I also recommend live music. And I recommend earplugs when you go to see live
Yes.
music.
Oh my gosh, music. Absolutely.
my God.
100%. I don't care how old you are. Do earplugs. Your ears will thank you later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Earplugs and sunscreen. Things that I
Yes.
wish I'd come around to like 10 years ago. And I will also say, and we are not sponsored, but I got a pair of Loop earplugs for my birthday, and they have been saving my bacon. Every event I go to, they live in my purse, in my little purse with the little Demon Slayer keychain I got at Anime Expo. And that I think you got and I traded you
Yes.
for. Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
needed
fine.
my boy. I needed my boy. So it lives in my purse and it goes with me, and it was amazing for this because we went to see Fallout Boy before I had them, and I was just using your normal foam,
Yeah.
your bog standard earplugs, which was good, but it also felt like everything was muffled.
Mm.
For these, using the Loop earplugs, it just felt like everything was a little quieter. It
Okay,
wasn't
that's
muffled,
cool.
it wasn't harder to hear, it just lowered the volume a bit. I think the big issue with that I don't think I would have had with normal earplugs is that it lowers things around you so you can hear things closer to you. So it's great for like conversation in a crowded bar. But that also meant that I heard the conversation of the two super drunk loud guys behind me a lot. It's like, I didn't want to hear this. I didn't
Yep.
want to hear you. If you're ever at a venue and it's after dark and you're filming the show with your camera light on, you're an asshole.
No.
Oh,
It does
I
nothing. Turn it
they
off. Oh
turned it off
no.
after I turned around and got on their cases in the middle of a song. I was like, no,
Oh
we're done with this.
no.
I'm not dealing with you.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for etiquette, but yeah,
Also, it does nothing
earplugs.
at
It
that
does
point.
nothing.
Yeah.
It does nothing.
Don't do it.
We're
Anyway.
literally at the opposite end of BMO
Yes.
Stadium from them. It does nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, going to see
Nice.
live music, or even just if you're in a crowded bar, if you're in an
Mhm.
area that's really loud, like earplugs in general, great. Loop earplugs, I really like them. I really like them.
Nice.
So it's a good investment.
Yes.
As long as you're not the type of person to inadvertently lose small things. Because
Mm,
I know there are
mhm.
people like, you can't keep track of your AirPods, you can't keep track of your earrings, you can't keep track of your, like, I understand that, like, that is a thing with some people. And so I don't blame you for not wanting one more small spendy thing you can't keep track of. But my purse is a repository, so it lives in there.
Fair. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in for Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. And if you watched us live, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you everybody who was joining us over in the live chat. And if you're watching this later, also awesome. Comment down below. Let's get to Katie. Where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on Silver Screams, a YouTube channel I do with my roommate that is horror focused. So if you want to see me really jump out of my skin, that's there. And if you're in the Los Angeles area this weekend and going to the Labyrinth Masquerade Ball, drop by the dice tables at the Wizards Guild.
Gigadirks just says, took me a second to watch. It's me, boy. I'm PS5. LOL.
It's so good. It is the single best TikTok stitch I've ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna have
It's
to go look it up.
so
I'm like,
good.
it's not coming to mind, but maybe
I'm
I've
gonna make
seen
you
it.
watch that once we
Okay,
hop off
yes.
the air. I want to see your reaction.
Okay. And then also be sure to go follow us on NTATNB, or that's over on Twitter. We have links to different stuff that we've covered there, as well as we'll post any kind of announcements. Like if we have to adjust our time or day, we're always here bringing you live, but sometimes we have to adjust a day or so our time a little bit, and then this is a helpful spot to be. But you should also be subscribed here on the Fanversation channel and have the notification bell, because then as soon as that link goes up, then you know where to go.
Yes.
And you all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. In the description down below, got a bunch of videos from Comic-Con, so check out those interviews. And if you're a voice actor fan, we also did interviews with the cast of Jurassic World Chaos Theory, which is linked down below in that. And then should be a whole playlist for them too. And they're in our whole playlist on voice actors. So if you want to see more, we got you covered. We have lots. And there we go. Wait, no. There.
I was like,
I thought I hit the button and it didn't go.
The biggest of Monday energies.
Yes.
Yay.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.